How can we stop giving our power away to others? Why do we give our power away to others? And what can we do to maintain our own power and feel strong in our boundaries? I'm Carol Rathel. I'm an occupational therapist, and I help people lead fulfilling lives, overcoming their past wounds and tuning into their inner guidance from upstairs. To get us started on this conversation, I'm going to share a story about what happened to me today. For the last couple of weeks, there has been somebody coming into my environment quite early in the morning with a loud voice, waking me up. For about 10 mornings of that 2 weeks, I just kind of rolled over in bed and put a pillow over my ear and tried to go back to sleep, but it didn't work. This morning, I thought, right, if I don't set a boundary, if I don't tell this person that they're waking me up, then I'm going to be keeping on being woken up. So I went to this person and I said, hey, do you know that you've got a loud voice when you come here in the morning and you park your car next to my home and then you call across to your friend? She goes, yes, I've been told I've got a loud voice. And I said, yeah. He said, okay, I'll be much more aware of it. And I said, thank you, that'll be really great. We solved the problem. Her friend and I'd sorted out and we said goodbye and off I went. But for about a week or so, I had held back from doing that. And the big question is, why do we hold back? It is from the fear of giving offence. It is from the fear of perhaps we're going to be ridiculed. Or there may be a fear that we're going to get stuff thrown back at us and it become our fault. And if you've especially been in a relationship with a narcissistic personality, you know that that is what happens. They get it all turned on you and you suddenly become the villain in the picture and suddenly you're defending yourself against their anger. So we can really be trained by the response of others to not stand up for ourselves and to not only set our boundaries but maintain our boundaries. What I'm talking about is something that is called assertiveness. Assertiveness is saying, I'm okay. I have the right to be looked after in my body, or whatever it is going on, I have the right not to experience that. If it's impinging on my personal space, my personal rights, or on my home, or on my children, or whatever is happening. So drawing a boundary and saying, look, this is the boundary, and then you work with that. So I'm going to say the words, or how I responded with this person, to give you an idea of the formula that we can use. It's when you, this is what happens to me, it could be I feel, and generally the person might volunteer to instantly change their behaviour like this woman did. So I said to her, when you arrive early and park your car next to me and call across to your friend, I get woken up. And I've been woken up quite a lot in the last 2 weeks. The friend said, the woman I was speaking to said, gosh, yes, I know I've got a loud voice. Okay, I'll tone it down. But if you don't get that response, then you could say, if you were to keep your voice down and just be aware that I'm sleeping and I'm probably not the only one, it would really be a happy community and we would enjoy your visits with your friend. Then we're saying what we need, and we're also saying what the positive outcome is going to be when they respect that boundary. Let's take a different example. If you've got a partner who can tend to say things like, you look fat and that. Great example. We've probably all experienced that unless you're blessed with a very slim body. So they might say, oh, that dress makes you look fat. And then all of a sudden we just feel terrible, because if we've got any extra weight, no doubt we're feeling bad about it anyway. Rather than just go and change our clothes into something black that minimises our size, we can say to that person, when you tell me I look fat in that outfit, I feel bad because I'm really conscious of my weight and I would like to be slimmer, but I am this size. If you respected that I am this size and it's what I've got to work with, then I'm going to feel more like spending time with you and going out with you. That would be really good, and I feel our relationship will get a lot better. And then, what do you think? And you give them a chance to apologise or to say, oh, yeah, I realise, I'm sorry, I wasn't being very kind to you. I'm sorry. And a good person, a person who is generally respectful of you, is going to respond that way. They don't want conflict, and they may not realise what the effect of their behaviour was, like this lady I spoke to. If you're dealing with somebody who's abusive, disrespectful, maybe a narcissist, you may get a completely different response. And if that happens, I invite you to question, why are you in the relationship with that person? What are you getting out of it? If you're drawing your boundaries and they're just knocking them over and with no care whatsoever for your feelings, your personal space, or your sovereign rights, why are you there? Something to think about. So this is about loving yourself by setting boundaries and saying to people what they're doing that is encroaching on our boundaries. We do have the right to do this. We have been taught not to cause waves. I've been working with women a lot about this, when they can't understand why their husband has no respect for them. And if you were one of these people in this sort of relationship, why not try, make a list of the things that you're experiencing about your weight, or about how you cook, or about anything that they are going to be negative about, or they do frequently be negative about, and see if you can draw a boundary. So if I prepare a meal every day for a partner, and every day they say, ugh, and they sit down and eat it and they don't thank me, well, doesn't kind of make me feel like I want to cook for them again. I could turn around and say, look, I notice when I give you your dinner, you go, as if you don't like what you're seeing. I would appreciate you being honest with me about what else you would like me to feed you, because I would really like to be able to prepare food for you that we're both going to enjoy. And quite frankly, I don't like the silence that we have at the table, and I really have no idea whether you actually enjoyed that food or not. What do you reckon? And they get a chance to say, no, I really do enjoy it, and I'm sorry about reacting that way. Or they can say, well, yes, no, you're cooking rubbish, and say, well, you cook then. I'll cook my dinner, and you can cook yours. Find a way to draw that line in the sand. In that situation, there's no way I'm going to keep cooking for that person, whether it's my partner or even a child. It's really just respect for what they're doing. And we need to have a boundary to respect ourselves. This is a type of self-love that is about we respect ourselves or we abandon ourselves. And abandoning ourselves is saying, okay, well, I'm going to set my feelings aside just to keep the peace, And we do really give ourselves a part away when we do that. So when you're writing these things down, think about the boundary. What is it? Where are you going to draw that line of what you're going to allow and what you're not going to allow? And then work out how you would like to word it. I've got a problem. This is the full formula now. I've got a problem. When you do blah blah, I feel da da. If you blah blah, I would feel more like spending time with you or cooking your meals. I would do it as a labour of love rather than having the anxiety that you're not going to like it. Eh? Something like that. And then when I know that you're enjoying it, I feel better about taking care of you. What do you think? And you give them that chance. Write the formula down and then apply that formula to those things that you can pinpoint are big problems for you. And just try it out. Very often people just aren't aware and they're not going to know until you tell them. And those that are not going to care, as I said, you know, you've got to start thinking about whether you're going to be spending that time with them or whether it's a good time to just cut out, get out, heal your wounds and start over. So this is about self-love in a very, very big way. Be loyal to yourself. Love yourself enough to set those boundaries. Especially if you think you might be living with either a narcissist or somebody who's quite self-centered. And it can go really well. It can deepen a relationship when the partner knows what you're finding difficulty with. In fact, in general, men like women who will be assertive and speak their mind about how they're feeling. They really admire the strength of women doing that. So go girl, if you're listening and you're a lady or a girl, teenager, mother, whoever you are, if you're listening, try it out. Become empowered. Put on your warrior suit and go out there and protect your space. Become empowered to stand up for your space. That's it from me tonight. I look forward to seeing you, and I will be waiting for you in the next video. Bye for now.